Sevananavq is an ancient religious site located on a peninsula in Lake Sevan, Armenia. It was founded as a place of Christian worship in 305 AD. In 301 AD, when Armenia adopted Christianity as the state religion, Gregory the Illuminator decided to build a church at Sevananavq on the site of a former pagan temple. The original churches built in 305 AD were Surp Harutun Church and Surp Karapet Chapel, though both of those no longer exist today. Sevananavq was considered a holy place where relics of Saints Peter the Apostle, Saint Georg, and Saint John the Baptist were kept. 2 centuries ago, the peninsula was still an island in Lake Sevan. It was known as a hermitage island where people renounced worldly life to live as hermits. In the 20th century, as the lake's water levels dropped, the island became a peninsula connected to the land. Surp Astvatsatin is the largest church on the peninsula. It is also called Maria Mashen. According to the legend, a monk named Mashtots Yervartetsi, who lived as a hermit in Sevananavq for 10 years, one day saw a dream. In the dream, the 12 apostles ordered him to build a church on the island. Mashtots tells his dream to Mariam, the daughter of Ashot Bagratuni, the wife of Vasakish Khan. Mariam had promised to build 30 churches in memory of her late husband, so she was impressed by Mashtot's dream and in 874 built the 2 churches that exist today on the territory of the island, Surp Astvatsatin and Surp Arakelot. It is because of this legend that Sevananavq is often called Maria Mashen. There used to be a chapel on the vestibule entrance area located near the Surp Astvatsatin church at Sevananavq, but only ruins of those buildings remain today. Some wooden columns and pillars that were preserved from those former chapel buildings are now housed and displayed at the History Museum of Armenia and the Hermitage Museum. Surp Arakelot, also known as Surp Karapet, is the other church built by Mariam in 874 AD, in addition to Surp Astvatsatin. While Surp Astvatsatin is the larger of the 2 churches, Surp Arakelot has a similar style and design. Both Surp Astvatsatin and Surp Arakelot churches have a cruciform shape, meaning they are built in the shape of a cross. There are numerous khachkars located throughout the monastery complex. One particularly exceptional khachkar is the Surp Amenaperkich, carved in the 17th century. The Surp Amenaperkich khachkar is unique because it depicts Christ on the cross, which is very rare and unconventional for khachkars. Khachkars that show Christ are called all-saver khachkars, and there are only about a dozen or so such examples across Armenia. The Surp Amenaperkich all-saver khachkar can be found inside one of the churches at Sevananavq. After a period of reduced activity, spiritual life at Sevananavq became active again at the end of the 20th century. In 1990, the Vazgenian Spiritual School was opened at Sevananavq on the initiative of Catholicos Garigin II, who was a bishop at the time, and with the blessing of Catholicos Vazgen. The Vazgenian Spiritual School provides religious and spiritual education to many young people today at Sevananavq. So, the opening of this school in 1990 represents a reinvigoration of the spiritual and educational mission of the Sevananavq monastery complex in modern times. At the base of the hill where the Vazgenian Spiritual School is located, another church called Surp Astvatsatin was built later on. This later Surp Astvatsatin church was constructed in the basilica architectural style. However, in 1931, during a period when atheism was prevalent, The communist authorities destroyed this basilica-style Surb-Astvatsatin church. The stones from the destroyed monastery were then used in the 20th century to build a vacation house on the banks of Lake Sevan. In the Middle Ages, when Sevananavq was still an island, very few people could access or travel to it. Making a pilgrimage to Sevananavq 3 times was considered equivalent to making a pilgrimage to Jerusalem in terms of difficulty and religious significance. Women were prohibited from entering or setting foot on the island, with the sole exception being Mariam, who lived there as a hermit. Today, there are no longer hermits living at Sevananavq. Now, that is a peninsula. The site and its churches are accessible to both pilgrims and tourists alike.